Right, here we go again. Proper week in the life of this week, kind of. So I'll get to why it's kind of. So yeah, it's week commencing 17th of January 2022. So fuel prices, just to go through them this week. So the UK fuels price has gone down since last week, which is good because it was the one I used last week. So, but the BWOC or the book one's actually gone up. So normally, like, they'll tend to do a similar thing, but they're at odds this week. So UK fuel price is 116.63, which is the cheapest, like I say, and with VAT that's 139.96. So the with VAT price, which is the one that matters really, is just over a penny cheaper than what I was paying last week. And as I said before, the Shell card I get for UK fuels is my preferred card to use. Just because it's easier than using the Key Fuels Network one, because it's just a case of I can use any Shell, any Tesco, sorry, any Shell, any Texaco, any Gulf, any Esso. It's not a case of I can use some and not the other, and I don't have to check online which ones I can use and stuff, or keep an eye out for the Key Fuel sign. So that's my preferred one to use, and it's cheapest, so I'll be using that again this week like I did last week. The BWOC or Blocker card, that's 118.12. Like I say, that's gone up from last week, plus the VAT of course. So Monday, the van was in the garage, booked in first thing. If you watched the vlog before Christmas, it went in Christmas Eve to have the intercooler, or a intercooler pipe replaced, which they did, and it did make a difference. Something it was losing boost pressure because it was leaking. But they said at that time, they said, oh, it actually needs an ECU update, but we don't want to do the update today because we're finishing at half day, because it's Christmas Eve, and if it goes wrong, which it sometimes can do, it stops midway through updating or whatever. It can just, drag on for a few hours, which is kind of understandable. But it was only in on the Christmas Eve because they'd had it a week before and the wrong pipe had turned up apparently, but was given a benefit of a doubt, but they seem a bit incompetent, to be honest, so I reckon they just ordered the wrong one. So they just didn't even bother looking at that point to see whether it needed an update. If they bothered looking then, when it was originally booked in, they could have said, alright, it's the wrong pipe, but it needs an update, so we'll do the update now. So it kind of dragged on, so I had to rebook it in, like I said, the 17th for first thing in the morning. I was kind of hoping, drove over there, gave it them just before 9 when it was booked in. I was hoping to get it back like midday at the latest, and then I could crack on. I had all my stuff with me. So I left it with them, and they says, oh yeah, that shouldn't be a problem as long as it goes alright and stuff like this, we'll get straight on it. So I walked into Stourbridge to just kill some time, basically walk around town. I did need to buy some stamps and stuff as well, and get some envelopes and stuff like that, but I thought, what can I do while I'm killing time? What I need to do. And then he rang me probably about 10, and I thought, God, that's quick. Answered the phone, and it was somebody else, not the person I spoke to in the morning, and he said, we're terribly sorry, but we're not going to be able to get on it straight away because it needs to go to on one of the certain ramps, and there's already a vehicle on that ramp, and we're probably not going to get to it till midday, so it's going to be by the end of the day until it's ready. Which, it's booked in for first thing. Just really annoying, just an ECU update. So I told them I wasn't happy and stuff, and it's going to be another day wasted work and stuff, and they're like, oh, we're sorry, but it's okay, you know what I mean? Might as well be talking to a wall, and then it's so I had to kill time. So for the rest of the day, got bored walking around Stourbridge, so I walked to Briley Hill in the Merry Hill Centre, wandered around there, had some lunch there. It's all really annoying this, because I can't work, can't go home, because it wasn't going public transport home and then coming back, it just take forever. stuff. Yeah, so Monday it turns out to be a bit of a write-off. Couldn't work, couldn't do anything, you know, my own time. I was just killing time, and I'm finding at the moment I'm spending loads of time killing time anyway, like waiting between jobs, bidding and stuff. So it's just more time. I seem to just be killing time at the moment, waiting for us to have a job or waiting for something else. Bit frustrating start to the week, but anyway, got it back at the end of just before 5, and they reckoned they'd done 3 updates. There's only one ECU, so I don't know how many programs there is in the ECU or what, but they reckon they'd updated the AdBlue system and 2 engine updates, and it was all up to date now. Can't really feel any difference in terms of power, but I don't know, I reckon, or whatever. Kind of just fed up with it now, so I do not recommend getting a Nissan van, because the dealer's a bit useless, and you can't take it to most dealers, a van this size, at least. If you get a small van, you might be alright, you can take it to any of the dealers. But when it comes to the MV400, the large van, yeah, I wouldn't. I just get a Renault if you're going to go on these. Anyway, so that was Monday, and then Tuesday I started looking for jobs. I was a bit late starting to look, to be honest. It's my own fault, but after that I started to look. I was at home, wasn't bidding on local stuff. I was bidding on jobs out of the area to get going for the week, as I normally would. Wasn't going in cheap, but wasn't really, you know, pushing it either, sort of thing. But I didn't get a job by 1, and I just kind of got fed up and gave up. So Tuesday was a write-off as well. Just spent the rest of the day doing. I've actually bought a car which I should be picking up this Saturday, so I needed to sort out insurance for that and just get all that. So I thought I'd just take the rest of the day off now, because if I take a job out of area, it might be like 120 quid, 130 quid job, and then I'm spending a night away kipping in the van for that stuff. I won't bother, and I'll just get, like I say, the insurance sorted and a few other bits and bobs. So that was Tuesday. It was a blank fail, really. And then this morning started looking at 8:30, which was, you know, earlier, but still could have been a bit earlier, I suppose. I eventually got a job. I was starting to think, I eventually got a job 20 to 1. So over 4 hours looking, and I was getting to that time, starting to get hungry. I thought, right, if I don't get a job soon, I'm going to make some lunch and make a decision about whether I keep looking or just knock it on the head again. But I thought, I can't really knock it on the head again, because that'll be, you know, 3 days of the week where I don't work, and then if I do work Thursday, Friday, it means I go out Thursday and I've got to get back Friday. So that always makes it harder to make a good overall rate for the week. But a job pinged up with a shipper whose WhatsApp group I'm in. I post jobs in the WhatsApp group because I did multi-drop from government food deliveries in the first COVID lockdown. Haven't done the job for them in months, but I noticed the job on the CX that they hadn't actually put in a WhatsApp group, so it said e-quote only, so I quoted it on there. 127 miles, quoted 125. I was 9 miles from it. It was going down to SW13 to southwest London, sort of by one of them parks, which I always forget the name of. Turned out to be one pallet. It was from one of their new customers, apparently. First time I did, I sent one in there. And it's picking up one pallet of boxes, and in the boxes was a load of sponge. Apparently sponge pieces, cut to shape and size and stuff. Straightforward down there. It wasn't too bad getting into that part of London, apart from the last couple of miles there was some roadworks, but yeah, getting into that sort of area wasn't too bad for London. And then pulled up outside, and a guy comes out and goes, "Have you got my sponge?" Sponges. And I'm like, yeah, I'm guessing I'm right place. And that happens sometimes. It's always good, obviously, because it means they're keen to get it. It was in a built-up area, but like a small sort of, yeah, it must have been an office/stroke industrial unit, right in like a proper residential area. No forklift. So he says, "Oh, we'll have to I'll get a pallet out of the garage or whatever, and I'll just have to transfer it." He had a pump truck, but this thing weighed so little. Between the two of us, we just picked it up and walked it into his garage storage unit type thing. So that was tipped in 10 minutes. and then I bid on a few jobs, but I did bid on one I knew was a parcel collection for herpes. I thought, forget that, it's not going to be a great job in a pounds per hour term. It was 23 miles loaded, 3 pickups, finishing in Hemel Hempstead, dropping at the herpes depot. And I was about 8 miles from it, so call it 30, just over 30 miles, and I went at 60 quid, got it. So £2 a mile, pretty much all miles for the job, but I was probably on it 3 hours. Beggars can't be choosers at the moment, and that put me at 185 for the day, and I've only done 170 miles, so that turned out okay really. It could have been a heck of a lot worse. It's got me going for the week. So I'm in Hemel Hempstead now, sort of parked in a public car park next to like a little shopping area in like a housing estate area. Doesn't look the plushest of areas, put it that way, but where I'm parked there's no parking restrictions, reasonably quiet, and there's CCTV and, you know, street lights and stuff, so I'm just going to tramp here. This is where I got some chips. Yes, so that is the start of the week. Very late start to the week. Bit tired now. Probably hear the ticking in the background. That's the dosing pump of the diesel heater, so I'm getting the back nice and warm. It's only 2 degrees outside. Gonna get some kip very shortly. Right, Thursday evening now, just after, well, 6:30. Just parked up outside my house, not my house, but where I live. Yeah, so this morning I thought I'd try and get up a bit, you know, pretty sharpish. Early bird gets the worm, kind of hoping. So I started looking for jobs at 7:15. Jobs coming up by that time because I was obviously just north of London, but not massively busy. Later on in the morning, it did get really, really busy. Well, I say really, really busy, but not as busy as it would have been like December or whatever, but not dead either for sure. There's plenty of jobs coming up there. I wasn't bidding on local stuff in and around London. I was bidding on longer jobs. I was bidding on like jobs to the south coast, sort of Brighton, Southampton way, like going west, like Swindon, Bristol way, South Wales, and anything sort of getting up towards Midlands, East Midlands, North East, North West. Basically just trying to get away, get a job, getting me away from the South East. I have noticed when I was having, like before Christmas, my better weeks I seem to notice were weeks when I just didn't go to the South East at all. Or if I did, it was like the South East coast, like Sussex, Brighton sort of way, and then get a job out of the South East from there. So anyway, that was my plan for the morning. Like I said, bid on plenty of jobs, dozens of jobs. Went in a bit cheap because of obviously in terms of pence per mile I was doing pretty well, because yesterday was over £1 a mile. So I did 170 miles yesterday for about 185 quid. So I thought I was working out my normal price or whatever, and I was knocking like 20, 25, 30 quid off, just like getting me out of here. Still didn't get anything for a long, long time. And then eventually the company whose WhatsApp group I'm in, as I mentioned the other day, I did a job for them yesterday that got me down to the southeast. The company I did the government food deliveries for COVID, they posted a job on a WhatsApp. Clicked in Northish London, NW10, going to Wolverhampton, WV10. So I was like, yes, please. And I noticed they also put it on the CX, or bid on the CX as well. 128 quid I put it in. It's 131 miles it's showing on the CX, medium wheelbase. I still had like 25 miles to get to it, but it's just getting me out of here, you know. Yeah, and I got the job, and then when they sent it through, they actually put it through for 131 quid. So I guess in just £1 a mile. You know, which is pretty decent for a medium wheelbase job of that length, especially at the moment. And And then when I got there and then put the postcode in, it actually came up as more, slightly short, 127 miles. So that was a bit of a Brucey bonus. But like I said, I did have a fair few miles to get there. I've not worked out the whole pence per mile thing, but I thought, well, that's getting me home. I'm going to stay at home tonight. So that was a whole day. So I got that job about 20 past 1. So a shade over 6 hours sat there. Like I said, the feed was plenty of jobs coming up, so it's not a case of like I was pretty much watching my phone most of the time, all the time. But I did do a bit of shopping. I bought this woolly throw. I'm bored. I tend to buy stuff. That was from the range. I've got a job for that in the back of the van, which I will go into at a future date. That's going to be part of my tramping, but it's not going to be a blanket to put over me. So I'll try and work out what I'm going to do with it. Did a bit of shopping in Tesco, got some supplies. But yeah, 6 hours in a busy area. Hemel Hempstead, just north of London, bidding a bit cheap, dozens of jobs. And I only got that job because it's, you know, a courier I'm kind of in with, having done a lot of work for him before, multi-drop for like 6 weeks. Doing the government food deliveries. If it wasn't for that, I'd probably still be down there struggling, so I'm really grateful to them. So they've given me 2 jobs this week in 2 days, one yesterday and one today. Prior to that, I hadn't done anything for them for a few months probably, but that's just how it goes, I've noticed. And the other job I did was like a multi-collection for a pallet network, for a parcel network, that are really unpopular jobs. So the only other job I got in them 2 days was a job that's, you know, a lot of people avoid. So a real struggle this week, but I am at home now, going to go in, have a proper home cooked meal, and I'm going to have tomorrow off because I just can't be asked. And I've bought a car, so, which I've mentioned before. It's taken a while because I went to view it initially when they just got it and they hadn't prepped it or anything. They had to MOT it and stuff. Been up there a second time to test drive it, and they agreed to buy it, but they still had a few jobs to do on it. So it's ready now. So I was going to pick it up on Saturday, but I've insured it from tomorrow anyway. So I thought, bugger it, I'm just going to go and collect it. And because it's a Friday tomorrow, it would be trying to get out and get back in a day, and it's such a struggle at the moment. I just can't see it working out very well. So I might as well take the day off. It's yet another day off, so I'll work 2 pretty poor days this week, but that is how today went, and the last day on the run. Yeah, so I might do a little update about my new motor, which I'm quite excited about. Yeah, baby, come on, come on! Love it. Yeah, I got a bit excited when I picked up my new car. So I am really at heart a petrol head. So even though I haven't really done much with cars and stuff, motorbikes for quite some time, for one reason or another, I thought it was about time I had a bit of fun. So as I mentioned before, if you've not got a van yet, or you're watching these kind of videos to sort of see what it's like, you know, claims off a car can't be used on a van when a van's used for doing courier work, hire and reward insurance policy, a commercial policy. So I had to start again from 0 years, no claims on the van. So I've now got 1 year. I'm in my 2nd year on the van, and I had 5 years on my old car, my old Vauxhall Astra diesel estate, which was absolutely no fun to drive whatsoever. I had that for like 5 years. So and 2 years was up from when I cancelled the policy, when I scrapped it because the DPF was blocked and it was knackered. So it would have been 2 years end of February, so I had up until end of February to find a car. Otherwise I'd lose my no claims. So I thought it's really quiet now. Now it's the time to look, get it done now, and then hopefully when work picks up, I'm not, taking time off to go and look at cars when I could be earning money. It's better to do these kind of things now when it's really quiet. And yeah, it's just a bit of a miserable time of year. I struggle this time of year to keep positive, to be honest. January, February, definitely get that seasonally affected disorder me. Not a fan of this bad time of the year, so it's something to, kind of cheer me up a bit. Yeah, so I went to pick it up, Suzuki Swift Sport, 2007, so getting on for 15 years, well, just gone 14 years old. And it's a hoot to drive. It's 1.6 natural aspirated, so no turbo, revs like crazy, fantastic. I've not had a petrol car, fun car in a long time. Yeah, so not the most practical car when I got the kids, but it's quite fun. And I got to have a bit of fun in life. Yeah, so that was really good. Picked it up, quite happy with it so far. There's a few jobs I need to do on it. Need to change probably this front shock absorbers, definitely the front top mounts. They're creaking, even though the MOT, they put an MOT on it, the garage I bought it from. But obviously they're noisy and it's affecting the handling, I think. But that's something for me to do. I'm kind of looking forward to doing a few jobs on it and getting it all spick and span kind of thing. So yeah, back in the day, I used, like, maybe the last fun car I had was probably my last rally car, which I sold at the end of 2011. Yeah, so have a look at this. There's a few clips. So my rallying, actually did alright at the rallying. Had some success, but I also had some fails. Yeah, that was the rallying. So yeah, like I say, this car I've got now, it's kind of a good base for a rally car in the future if I decide to build a rally car to either do forest rallying again. Very unlikely because it's very expensive. It was alright when I was young, earning a good wage as an engineer and had no kids and loads of disposable income, but can't see that happening for a while. There are cheaper forms of rallying you can do now, especially one called Tiger rallying, so that quite interests me. So that would be the perfect base car for it. So yeah, maybe see where I go with that one. But anyway, that was the week. It's now late Sunday, so I'm filming this quite late Sunday, a bit behind today. I'm not going to do your normal summary, you've kind of seen it. So Monday was right off in the garage. Tuesday I didn't get a job till like lunchtime and then just sacked it off. Wednesday got them 2 jobs, did alright-ish in the end, but hard work. Wednesday sat around for 6 hours in the morning, eventually got 1 job, only because I'm in with a shipper and they know I'm a safe pair of hands, and it's through the WhatsApp group and not through the CX, even though they are on the CX. I originally got a job off the CX with them, the whole food delivery thing. And then Friday I took off and went and picked the car up and went for a nice drive around Staffordshire lanes and stuff and got it filthy muddy in the country lanes. But yeah, great fun to drive. So that's cheered me up a bit. So plan is for next week. I did have a phone call last week. There's a guy out there doing stuff called Tall Man Small Van. So he's a big guy in a small van. John, he rang me. He's very he obviously worked out who I was and got my phone number off the CX. Spoken to him briefly once before. So had a good natter with him while I was driving up on the Friday to drop that Wolverhampton job off. It's good to chat to him, really. Seeing how he's only been doing it a few months in a small van. He lives in Telford, not too far from here, in the Midlands. Good place, Telford, because more stuff comes out of there than our vans, I think, because it's slightly removed from the rest of the West Midlands and the Black Country. There is lots of industrial estates there and that, so he's in a good area. And he's been doing more local runs, so I'm kind of thinking, it did kind of get me thinking, speaking to him, maybe I should try and do a day of doing local runs, or rather than looking to get distance and keep pinging around the country. And then if you stay local, even if you only do 2-3 jobs and earn like 120, 150, which is not enough, but it's better than nothing, and keep your miles down, and then spend the night at home, and then bid as well on the big long jobs, maybe going for proper money. So I might mix it up next week. planning a full 5 days. Yeah, in terms of the figures today, this week, I'm not going to do them because pretty much it's 2 days now. I did 185 one day for 170 miles, and the next day 131 for yeah, it's about 155 miles. So the pence per mile would have been above target, pretty decent, but pence per mile you still have to be earning, have the income, the takings still need to be high enough. They're nowhere near high enough. So that was the week. Thanks for watching. As ever, let me know how you're getting on. Anyone who's doing it, any tips or anything, please put them below. Tips for me or anyone else who watches this either now or in the future. And yeah, cheers for watching.